It took not one, not two, but 3 overtimes last night. A wild finish in Providence. Xavier in town, maybe a little longer than they'd hoped, though. We'd need triple OT, as I said, to settle this one. This was the first triple overtime game in the Big East since 2010. Back when Jordan was playing in the Big East. Maybe it was after that.
I was 05, but thanks for knowing your husband.
Providence almost had it locked up in the second OT period, but Xavier's Paul Scruggs beat the buzzer with a clutch 3. Jared Bynum was in his bag for Providence, hitting a key 3 late in the third to try and help the Friars get the dub, 99-92.
You'd have to go back to 2002, 4 overtime game versus Georgetown. We won it, no big deal. Loser ankles. Juwan Howard, what are you doing to Providence's Nate Watson? We'll take another look. Crosses him, but then he gets to the rim for the lay.
Loser, leaking ceilings. Okay, people, what are we doing? 2 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the second half. Play suspended due to water leaking onto the floor from the ceiling. There were multiple different leaks in the roof, apparently. Play would be suspended for nearly 20 minutes. So let's add 20-minute delay on top of 3 overtimes. If you were at this game, you got your money's worth.
How about Coach Cooley getting down there? Man, that guy makes too much money for him to be having towels. Thank God the student managers took over. The Dunk has seen better days. The place was rocking. What a great environment. Winner coming off the bench. That key 3 in overtime, it wasn't the only contribution from Jared Bynum. My dude was getting busy off the bounce. 3 25-point games off the bench. In their last 5 games, no other player in the conference has hit that mark in an entire season, Shae, let alone 5 games.
He's doing it.
All night like a set of porch lights.
There you go. Winner, close calls. Providence has made it count this season. When it comes down to the wire, they improved to 14-1 in games decided by single digits. Providence coach Ed Cooley said after the game that he's heard a lot about how lucky his team is, keep winning those close games. But he responded saying, yeah, that luck better come from somewhere, and it's called talent. You got to love Coach Cooley.
Talk to him. Got to love Coach Cooley. Going to miss Coach K as we focus in on those Dukies taking care of business on the road. And unranked Virginia looking for the series sweep of one of the better teams in the country, number 7 Duke. Kihei Clark showed up huge for the Hoos, finishing with a career-high 25 points. Wasn't enough, though. Duke was holding just a 1-point advantage heading into the final stretch until freshman A.J. Griffin, he's been a revelation for the Blue Devils, struggled most of the night, but turned it on late, hitting back-to-back triples to give Duke the narrow margin of victory, 65-61 on the road.
Winner, game recognizes game. Virginia head coach Tony Bennett paid tribute to Coach Krzyzewski before the game, thanking him for all that he's done for the sport and presenting him with a plaque. I am sure Coach K has plenty of trophies and plaques around his house, but this obviously a special moment between 2 fabulous head coaches.
And then Coach K goes and beats him on the home floor. Coach K, no respect, savagery. Winner Clark Bar. It's a candy bar, by the way, and look at me. You can trust me, and if you don't, you can Google it. Either way, Kihei Clark had a career night thanks to a career best 6 threes at a stretch where he scored 18 consecutive points. Shae, that's
a lot of points.
For Virginia, absolutely. They were going in, so I kept shooting is what Kihei said after the game. If it feels good, do it again. Isn't that what you told me on our wedding night?
I did. Also, I've never heard of a Clark bar. I am going to Google it because I'm a candy bar enthusiast. Winner, big jump. With the big win, Duke has now jumped back up to a 2 seed, according to Joe Lunardi. This is a big deal because the Blue Devils have been a 3 seed or worse 6 times over the last 30 years. And in those 6 appearances, they have never once even reached an Elite 8. And so, Jay, we take a step back. They get a big win against Virginia. We are creeping closer and closer to Selection Sunday, about 2 weeks away, 2 weeks from this Sunday, rather. And so if Duke does remain that 2 seed, they can kind of lock it down. With the ACC being down, they should be able to kind of, control their own destiny, if you will. What does that say for this Blue Devils team heading into March?
Well, because the AC's down, it disallows Duke the ability to get up to a 1 line.
Right.
But it doesn't really matter because this Duke team's dangerous. They're poised for a deep run. As we assess the ACC, a lot of conversation on the conference being down, and that's legitimate. Mm-hmm. It is down, and it's because of the lack of NBA talent, if you will, in this year's pool for now a run of 3 years, which is a little disappointing. It'll come back around, but when you look at Duke, they're the anomaly. I mean, this is vintage ACC basketball. They've got lottery-level talent in Paolo Banchero, who could be the number 1 pick. They've got first-round talent in guys like Wendell Moore, Mark Williams, and Trevor Keels. They've got depth. And look no further than what Jeremy Roach provided off the bench in this game. Knocking down timely shots, being a primary handler. With Duke, there are several guys who can go for 20 on any given night. And when you assess the NCAA tournament, I tell you this time and time again, Shae, despite the fact that your brackets are always better than mine, I want teams that can win without having to rely on the 3. Duke has capable 3-point shooters, but their defense can key their offense for early ones out in transition, easy ones. They can score playing downhill inside the arc. They've got a true defensive anchor in Mark Williams down low who allows those guards to be aggressive, getting in passing lanes to translate some defense to offense. They've got everything you need. And they're not just relying on a star like Paolo Banchero. Anybody can elevate this team. They're wildly deep. Another thing you need in the tournament, they are built for a deep run. And the intangible, that's what you always look at. And you're really good at this in identifying games. When I'm betting on them, who wants it more? Well, Coach K is a legend. He's the greatest coach in college basketball history. This Duke team wants to send him off in his final season the right way. They're playing for something more than these other teams who are energized by a championship, yes. But to send Coach K off, that is massive motivation.
So I have to take notes when Jordan gives me pointers on the tournament. It's like, don't live and die by the three, as you said. Guard play wins in March. Death, Texas, Tom Izzo in March. Those are like the top three.
I don't know about the last one. Michigan State looks horrible.
Those are usually the top three, but one of the three, not so much. All right, let's stay with college basketball here. And actually, speaking of the Big Ten and Michigan State, we're going to go to their big brother, if you will, in Michigan, because Rutgers is taking on the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor. Their first game without head coach Juwan Howard, who was serving the first of a 5-game suspension after the handshake line debacle. Associate head coach Phil Martelli.
A legend, by the way.
Of course he is. Filling in, no Howard, no problem. Caleb Houston scored 13 of his career high 21 points in the second half, helping Michigan pull away to beat Rutgers 71-62.
They shook hands.
I am not Juwan Howard, and I'm going to be me. I've never sat down during a game. So there'll be a chair there, but it will be for him. It will not be for me. I told the players that yesterday, that I'm not replacing Juwan Howard, but what we have in place is the way that we're going to play.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.